Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript.
Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings. Happy Tuesday. Happy June.
Happy Tuesday.
Oh my. It is June already. Can you believe it?
Halfway through the year.
Halfway through the year. Almost. Just about. Yeah. Happy summer almost, but mostly happy June. And welcome to the Descript Q&A. We are here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. I'm Trevor. I'm a member of the support team.
And I'm Salvatore, also a member of the support team.
And this is for anybody. So welcome. Thank you for joining. If you are first time joining, welcome. If this is returning, join. If you are returning to our session, welcome back. But this is for anybody. So we're here to answer your questions live. As we mentioned, we're from the support team. So if you have a question, you can use the chat. We have someone on our team as well that will be chatting in and helping with the chat. And yeah, just use that and send it over. Yeah, let's keep it rolling. If you have other resources, I was just trying to see the chat and I think it's working, but oh, there's the chat. I'm not seeing it on my end, but we'll make sure if the chat is working.
Looks like it's coming through.
You're seeing the chat come through?
I'm seeing it. Yep.
Okay. For some reason, I'm not seeing it come through, which is why I was a little pausing there. But okay, if you're seeing it come through, the chat is open. Just send us a message in the right hand side and we will highlight it and answer it live for you. We have some other resources for you. In addition to this, you can check out our help center. You can check out other videos on YouTube. You can join our Discord, Reddit, or official Facebook page, and you can watch other live events on YouTube right here as well. We have a full calendar of available webinars and other events. All of those are available to watch after the recording, including this one right here. Just head to our YouTube channel, Descript, and then you can go to the live tab and just rewatch anything you would like. If you want to get in touch with us directly, if you have a specific bug or a project you want us to take a look at, just go into the app, press the question mark at the top right of your project, and you'll see on the drop down a contact us or contact support. So if you press that, you can get in touch with one of us directly. Just ask for a human and it'll give you a few questions about what you're encountering. It might ask for a project link and then it'll get you connected to one of us and we can go from there. This is helpful if you are encountering a bug or if there's something account specific that you want help with. We're able to answer a good deal of questions here, but if there's something that you are encountering that's pretty specific to your account or project, that might be the best way forward. But we'll be happy to take any types of questions here. And with that, do we have any questions? Again, just interrupt us with what we're doing. If we don't have any questions immediately, we might be doing a little demo on editing a project that we have set up beforehand, and we'll show you a few things on how to get started, how to operate some of the main tools, and maybe that brings up new questions. But yeah, just feel free to interrupt us and we'll stop what we're doing to answer your questions.
Yes, please do. Okay. While we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Let's do it.
Let's get rocking and rolling for a little editing. I think last time we worked on an avatar project, so I kind of want to shift back to just your classic podcast style recording.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go back to the OG, the first podcast that we recorded.
First podcast we recorded.
Very first, in the flesh. So this is
way back in October.
October 3rd, 2025, apparently. And if you're not familiar, this was recorded in Rooms, which is our remote recording platform, which is built right into Descript. It's super useful. It's incredibly powerful as you get individual files for each speaker. So unlike most recorders, you have your separate video feed for each speaker, which gives you a lot of flexibility in editing. And if you haven't played around with it, here's how to get there. I'm going to go back to the home screen here. And if you click on record up top here, you'll have the option to record with others. And this will take you to your specific room as an editor on your drive. So this is going to pop open this window, and you'll set up your camera, your microphone input, type your name in, then you'll join as the host. And then from here, you can share this link.
Do you want to send me that link and I can join in just to show how it looks?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me Slack
share
it
in
over.
The private chat or Slack it. Yeah, we have Slack for our internal messages.
Only because I'm scared of. Oh, there's a private chat in Restream. Okay. Yeah.
There is a private chat in our webinar host.
Beautiful. So I send that link to Trevor or any guest that I want to join the call. I believe you could have up to 10 guests total for a room call. So this is really useful for multi-recording. And once Trevor requests to join, yeah, did it not go through?
I'm not seeing it on my end. Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. Let me join in. You'll see me.
And then I'll get a notification on my end that a guest is trying to join the room, and I could either decline or accept. So I'll accept.
We got two.
We got two people.
Oh my. Now we're doubling up.
Beautiful. So from here, I would just click record once everyone's ready to go, and this would record everyone and give us a high quality video and audio feed for each guest. There's a lot of controls here. You could check the people tab just to check on internet connections and device selections, but it's a really great tool if you haven't tried before. And once you're done recording, you'll click stop recording and it'll generate a new project for you, which is what we're looking at here in this project. Okay, so let's do some basic editing. What I usually start with is cleaning up the script. You might have some tangents, some filler words that you want to get rid of. So in this case, I like to head to AI tools, and we have a lot of options here. You can choose individual tools like remove filler words or remove retakes, but we do have this edit for clarity, which is a great function that it sort of combines a lot of those tools into one. So I'll go ahead and
select that. It has that recommended, that drop down where it says like recommended because we recorded in Rooms.
Mm-hmm. Good call out. Yeah, that's going to show you some things that you can try since this was a Rooms recording. So yeah, let's go ahead and go for edit for clarity. I'll keep it on moderate. AI speech, I usually leave that off, but it's up to you if you want to have some words regenerated. I'm going to click submit, and then we'll see what we have. Hopefully, after not too long, we'll get some results here. But basically, it's going to read the entire script and suggest some edits for us. All right, so we have 91 suggestions here. You could review these individually and either discard or accept, but I'm just going to go ahead and click done to accept all of the changes. And you can sort of see on the script now, we have sections of the script that have been crossed out. That means they're being ignored, but it's helpful if you want to end up restoring it later down the road. So let's play back this section here.
Right. And then
Let's say I want to keep that you're okay. So if you just click on that section, you could restore that ignored text and it'll undelete it.
right. And
So delete. And there we are. You could certainly do this manually too. If there are sections you don't like, you could just highlight it in the script and delete it, which is really useful. It's just like editing a Word doc. But yeah, this is looking a little cleaned up now. We've trimmed it down by a couple of minutes. The next thing that I typically go for is studio sound, which can improve the audio quality of your speech, especially for speech-based recordings. I'm going to go ahead and just toggle that on, and then it'll apply it to the tracks in my recording. And let me just A/B this really quick. Here's with it on.
first one was kind of brutal. It was probably like 12 hours in the car total.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see it's just a little bit louder, a little bit more even. The noise from my room is toned down. It just sounds a little bit more professional. And to compare, I'm going to turn it off.
First one was kind of brutal. It was probably like 12.
Yeah, so it's much better with it on. Kind of gets rid of any ambient noise, which is really helpful. And yeah, it's looking good so far, or sounding good at least. But yeah, like Alex said, if there are any questions, please feel free to drop them, and we'd be happy to go over any questions or workflow things that you want to see.
Yeah, we're pretty well versed on this project as well, so we kind of have the speed run down.
We got the
for these ones.
Yeah,
But let's keep it rolling. Let's keep finding a way. Let's make this. Let's finally export this. We've had this project since October. I think we're ready
it's time
to deliver this and fully
deliver the goods.
release our project.
Right.
I noticed at the top it says room recording October 3rd, 2025. That's just making me sad because we've been editing this since October.
Yeah.
Can we rename it to something?
Let's do it.
What's the name of the podcast?
The Moving Podcast.
The Moving Podcast. Okay.
Moving Podcast. Work in progress, you know. We could always
Work in
change
progress.
it later. Yeah, well, we can always change that. But I think I noticed something here. It looks like Trevor says Descript in the beginning, but it wasn't transcribed properly. So let's just play that
Tips with Descript Support episode.
And this is a great thing to point out because a lot of people will either just try to delete that and retype it, which can cause issues because with Descript, you're going to want to correct the transcript instead. So if there's any spelling mistakes or proper nouns you want to adjust, you're going to want to highlight that word or phrase and then use correct. And this won't affect the media at all. It's just correcting the transcript. So let's just fix that.
Will we have captions on this? Because I think we're going to add some. I think captions would look great on this. This is going to be a very visually dynamic.
It's going to be
a
so
very
good.
visually dynamic. Yes, visually dynamic looking show.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. Speaking of dynamic, it looks pretty good with us side by side, but I think it could be better. It could be much better.
It could be better.
So under the same AI tools panel, we have automatic multicam. And this works if your project has a sequence, which this does. And a sequence is a virtual container that combines or holds multiple tracks. Since this was a rooms recording, it automatically created it for me. But just to show you what a sequence looks like under the hood, if you double click on your script track, you'll see that the individual files are here. So there's Trevor's track, there's my track. And now that they're sort of bundled into the sequence, I could have that single file on my script track, and anything I edit will edit for both tracks, keeping everything in sync. So yeah, let's try automatic multicam. I'm gonna choose a style here. Let's do automatic. Cutaways, this is when it shows the other speaker occasionally. I'll just leave that off. And then camera setup, this is important. It usually gets it automatically right, but just want to make sure that the speaker label, so Trevor is going to Trevor's track in the sequence, and then my speaker label is going to my video. And submit. And after a few magical seconds, you'll see that your video has been transformed. And we have all of these divisions now, which are just scenes. So scenes are a way to segment your video, but using automatic multicam makes scenes for you. It made about 80 scenes. And let's just play back a little bit of this.
Pull it
Fun.
up. Yes, it is.
Welcome. We have Sal on today and me, Trevor. You have two different support people talking about random topics that are of interest.
Well, how are you?
Okay. Today we're going to be talking about
So you'll see whenever someone else speaks, it's going to change their camera angle, which is really great. Otherwise, doing that manually would have taken forever. So this is a great way to speed up that workflow. And I think Trevor mentioned adding captions to this. I think that'd be super
I think
cool.
captions could be good, or we could add some if you go let's kind of scrub through this a little bit, and you'll see that we're like, that looks okay. There's there's me as the speaker, and then there's like both of us as the speaker. I kind of want, what if we want to change one of them? Like the first time you show up, I kind of want, well, we should have like we have both of us, and then we should have one where it's just you and then just me. And maybe we add some lower thirds to know who's talking.
Oh, good call. Good call. Let's do that. Yeah. So let's start with me for this first scene. Well, actually, let's do you because you're the one speaking first. So now that I have this first scene selected in my script, I'm going to go ahead and change the layout. Right now it's set to multicam because that's the automatic multicam that we use, but I'm going to go ahead and just pick something else here. Let's
do a bunch of default ones.
Yeah, a bunch of options here. Lower thirds. Speaker name. Yeah, let's do that. Beautiful.
And it auto added my name and a brief description of me.
Yeah, that's super cool. A lot of our layouts have smart fill.
Smart fill, yeah.
Smart fill. So it gathers context from your script and fills out any text elements, which is really, really nifty. Let's do the same for my scene. So when it gets to me, let's click on this layout now. So let's change it. And same thing, I'm just going to do a speaker. Okay, so you'll see that it went to Trevor. If I want to change that, I'm going to swap the media. So I'm going to click replace, and I'm going to change the source to Salvatore for this scene. There we go.
Yes, it is.
Welcome. We have Sal on today and me, Trevor. You have two different support people talking about random.
Sweet, but you just need to change this one here to
Change it
yourself,
to
and then
myself.
what your title is.
Support. Bam. There we
So
go.
that's nice. That's typically like in a documentary, you'll see the lower thirds sometimes, and it's not all the time because you want it to not be too totally distracting, but you want to know who's talking.
Yeah.
You want to have some sort of description of who's talking. Like right now, we have the lower thirds here. Trying to frame it.
He's right
It's-
there.
Here. It's right here.
There,
Okay, I
trust-
got it. It's not I don't have this mirrored right now, so it's a little bit confusing sometimes when I'm like, wait,
Gotcha.
it's over here. Yeah. Yeah. So I really like using that specific one. I like the little rectangle there. But if we wanted to add something on to this lower third, how would we do that? Like, how can we create sort of our own lower third element? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of this font, or I think I want the actual text to be a little bit more visible.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's show that really quick. It looks like we have a question here.
I do have a question here.
Sweet. So with anything in Descript, if you click on it in the scene editor, so this is the scene editor, you can click on any layer and then quickly make adjustments here with this pop-up menu. So I can make the font bigger. I could change the font entirely. Add effects, animation, stuff like that. But if you also click under properties here to the right, you'll have some more options or just a bigger view of what you're affecting. And let's say I want to add another text element here. I would just go to elements and then just insert another title. Our fun podcast. Don't know why I would put that, but that's there just for an example.
I thought that are we the moving podcast? Are we life tips with Descript Support? What is the name of the podcast?
It's everything and nothing.
It's everything and nothing. It's all of them.
Everything and nothing. It's everything at once. But yeah, let's move over to this question because these look pretty good here. So we've got a question. Welcome, TD8269. Welcome back.
Welcome. Greetings from Belgium. Very cool. Removing filler words like and don't work for other languages like English. When will it be available for other languages? Is it available in a business account? It's a great question. That is correct right now that filler words are only an English feature. That being said, you can use our search function. So if you wanted to press, if you wanted to just show how you can search manually within the transcription.
Let me start a new composition here really quick since I've
already that's fair because we already removed everything. So it's just Command F.
Command F. So if you do click Command F on your keyboard, it's going to pop up this sort of find feature, and you can select what kind of search you're going to make. So I could do find or some of these other options. I'll just stick with find. So I'll just type in manually, and you should get some pretty good results with that.
And yeah, there's a bit more, like you can get a little more granular with the search. Like you can match it exactly. And then you choose what you want to do with this. So you can match the case, things like that. There's like all those options when you're searching. So regardless of what language your transcription is, you can use this as an option, or you can use Underlord to work with your transcription and say, anytime I hear the words this, like or depending how it's transcribed in the target language you're talking about, then you can use Underlord to try and remove those, or at least locate them and highlight them. But I don't know if we have any plans to add this to other languages. It's definitely been a request for a long time since we've been able to transcribe in other languages. Do you have any insight into that? Anything that you've heard or seen?
I'm trying to remember from our telethon if this was brought up. I think the idea is being floated around, and I'm not entirely sure, but it
looks like they might be. Let me do a quick search here.
Yeah, we recently had a company-wide telethon where we basically took all of our popular feature requests and tried to bug bash and make a rough implementation of it in 2 days, and it was a lot of fun. So I think that might have been one of them. Oh, yeah, perfect. So yes, it looks like it's on the map, and hopefully that'll come soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, both these things they have to test it out, make sure there are any bugs. So keep tuned.
Awesome. All right. Do you want to handle the next question here?
Yes. Do you advise?
Why don't you read it up?
Yeah. Do you advise the echo, cancellation, and reverb in the settings of recording in rooms, or do you suggest it to do in post-production in the Descript editor? Great question. If you're interviewing someone who doesn't have headphones, I would recommend having it on. It just sort of mitigates delay and mic bleed, so it's going to make the conversation itself easier while you're on the call. So I would probably, if they don't have headphones, just sort of default to having that on. But whenever possible, if you can have wired headphones, you can choose to leave it off. I think that'll give you the best quality, and you'll have more to work with in post-production. But just to show you what that looks like, I think we did a quick preview earlier. If you start a Rooms recording, you can toggle this on and off before you start. So are you wearing headphones? If you say no, it's gonna turn it on. And within the actual Rooms page, you have some more settings here under your profile icon in the top right. And you can turn on echo cancellation from here manually, or noise reduction as well. So yeah, if you have a pretty good setup and it's clean without it, you can certainly turn it off. But for the best results without headphones, I think leaving that on is best.
I think the noise cancellation, it is different than studio sound. So if you want more control over your audio, then consider turning the noise cancellation off. But it does work pretty good. If you ever have been in a conference call on Zoom or something, typically most people will have noise cancellation on. So any background noise, you just won't hear anything. Many times I've been like, hey, can you hear the construction in the background? And someone's like, no, I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it will do during the call. It helps to limit, if there is background audio, it kind of helps to the person you're talking across. So that's a case to have the noise cancellation on. And then you can also add studio sound just to enhance the audio a little bit more so it sounds a little bit more rich and full.
Good points. Yeah.
And the third one is about noise gating. And I believe we just sent the, oh no, that's something else. Sorry. As I mentioned, my chat, I'm trying to, I have the chat open on a separate tab just because for some reason it's not showing in our, in here. That's something I'll have to troubleshoot a little bit later for our next stream, but it's okay. We have plenty of folks in the chat. We have Alex from our team in the chat answering and flagging our questions, so I can see those questions. So hopefully that won't that doesn't pause anyone from giving a question, because we do see your questions. As you see, we're living here. Do you know what this question could be referring to?
It
like
sounds
limiting?
Yeah, noise gate. That sounds like similar to studio sound, but maybe specifically just for removing noise. I'm trying to look through the telephone thing again to see if anything popped up, but if not, you could certainly post that as a new feature request or see if there's one that's existing. But I'm not seeing one specifically just for noise gate or noise removal.
Yeah, studio sound or the noise cancellation are the best one right now. We don't have anything officially like announced beyond what we have there. We have. Do you want to kind of go through some of our audio effects that we have?
Yeah, let's do it. Gonna click on properties.
Our former manager Marcelo, who hosts a number of other webinars, his favorite audio effect, his favorite effect and feature in Descript is the bit crusher.
Yeah.
Bit crusher feature, which doesn't actually make it sound better. It makes it sound worse. But I was playing a Game Boy game on the plane. I took a little trip this weekend, and I was on the way back, and I was playing a Game Boy game, and just like listening to the audio of it, it has just that bit crusher effects, just because you have to downsample it to be able to fit on the cartridge. So I don't know, it kind of has that sort of 8-bit tune, just lower quality audio that feels retro. So there's reasons for it, but it's not to make your audio sound better.
No, yeah, it's definitely a creative effect. And like I mentioned earlier, we turned on studio sound for us, and that's probably going to be your closest bet for noise gating, since it combines that specific effect among other things. If you're wanting to experiment with maybe not altering the sound too much, you could dial back the intensity, which should still remove background noise and give you a closer result to what you're looking for. But if you click on this plus button, we'll have some more options here. We have some standard effects like compression, limiter, and lower other audio, which is basically just ducking. And EQ, we have some standard EQ options here. Some graphic, high shelf, low shelf. I had to do this one recently on a user who just had this really loud electrical hum, and it was really low. And we didn't want to like alter the recording too much, so we just did a high pass filter. Basically, that just you set where the frequency that it's gonna affect, and it was like something like around 100. Anything under that was going to be attenuated, and it just helped a ton.
So how do you know what frequency it's at?
You sort of just play it back and sort of sweep this. That's the closest that I could explain, but I just know from experience anything like under 100 is usually like low bassy rumbling hum. So yeah, just like play with this. Here, I'll give you a quick example.
It's like a dog
Yes, it
whistle
is.
is very high.
Welcome. We have
So now Trevor sounds like kind of telephony.
Sal on today, and me.
Sounds like he's calling from a 1960s.
Yeah.
You have two different support.
So
Now I'm coming way off the phone. That's like coming from
Way
the
off.
phone. Or have you ever seen like a Charlie Brown
Yeah.
special with the wah 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 wah?
I'm calling on.
That's what that's what the parent, like the adults in Charlie Brown sound like.
It's pretty fun. If you want to use it for an effect, that's also helpful. Oh, where did it go? Trevor, where are you? There we go. So yeah, I set it around 100 and that was good enough.
Can we show what Bit Crusher sounds like?
Yes. Thought you'd never ask.
We're just doing a deep dive now on audio effects.
Audio effects are fun. So we're going to go to creative. Let's add the Bit Crusher.
People,
Subject
everyone,
that you
everyone now needs to submit feature requests for new creative audio effects. I want more than just the Bit Crusher. I want it to sound like it's from like you're talking behind a waterfall, or I want it to sound like we're talking in a disco room, whatever that means.
Right.
Or have you ever seen those? There's those videos where it's like it's Mr. Brightside, but you're in the bathroom at a party and you're hearing it.
Yes.
I want that effect.
I think we can manage that with a little reverb.
With little reverb. So this is going to sound like we're in this podcast. We are listening to the podcast, but we're in the bathroom at a party.
The bathroom, the party. So we're going to reduce the room size. I want like a normal room. Let's play it back.
Okay. Today we're going to be talking about a subject that you should be very, very recently familiar with, moving.
It's fun stuff. There we go. So there's a lot of options here. Hopefully we can expand it even more, but for the basic meat and potatoes, I think you've got plenty to work with here. So let's turn that off for now. Keep it normal. But yeah, great questions. Thank you for that.
Great questions. Thank you for your questions. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. This is what we're here for. So yeah, we affected the first two scenes here earlier and added some layouts. Layouts are basically just templates for your scenes. And I kind of want to make just a quick little intro for this podcast. So if you expand the timeline, this is the way I do it, but you can do it on the script as well by clicking / twice. It'll create a new scene just like that. Or down on the timeline, you can click this plus button. So I have this blank scene now at the very beginning. And let's generate some media. I'm gonna make a video here because I don't have any footage of a moving truck. So let's choose our AI video model. So I have never played with C-Dance. Let's do it. 40 credits. Why not? Moving truck speeding down the highway with a couch
Hanging out.
Yeah. Hanging from the bed.
Oh my.
So, okay, so let's make it 8 seconds. Style, we have some different styles you can choose from. Studio lighting, stop motion. I think stop motion would be cool. Let's play that. And generate with audio. Let's do it. But while that's sort of running in the background, this is just a blank slate to work with, so there's no script media here. So I could add video, audio, anything I want. So let's go ahead and add a layer. Let's add some music to the intro. Does it not give me stock options here? Doesn't look like it. So I'll pivot over to the media tab. And if I go to audio, let's do like rock and roll. Kind of feeling moving is always rock and rolly.
The train beat.
The train beat.
Love a good train beat kind of sound.
It's the best. Will do. I think I
inserted the entire track though.
Yep. Do that again. Oh, I added it to the script.
Oh, okay, that's why.
There we go.
I would add it to the script again.
So in this case, I'm just going to add it to the timeline. Oop.
Or just add it to your project and then move it from there.
There are many doors to the same location.
There we go.
There we go. So now you'll see that it sort of spans the whole project now, but we don't want that. We just want it for the very beginning. So I'm going to place my cursor right there and click S on my keyboard, which just splits the clip. Now I can delete the rest. And we should be rocking and rolling now. There we go. Get rid of that.
Yes, minimize that that window because this is still generating here.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a little bit slow just because we are streaming as well as generating some things here.
I do like this new sort of pop-up indicator, though.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming when you have a bunch of things going on at once,
Yeah.
and I think you might have imported multiple of the same file, and that's why it's
certainly did.
showing the same thing.
I definitely did that. That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to this first scene that we're working with now that it has music. I think I'll just add some text here. And you know what? Let's commit to live tips with Descript Support. And I'm gonna also update the podcast name. There we go. So we've got a little title here. And I want to animate this to come in. So animation, let's click on in and let's do reveal. Some cool parameters here that you can adjust. So it can animate by word or by character, line, paragraph. So let's do character and see what that looks like.
Hello and welcome.
There you have it. And my vision, at least, is once this video is generated, I'm going to add it to the intro scene and it's going to look amazing. All right. So, yeah, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to drop them down below. Otherwise, we're just going to keep playing around with this project.
And finally export it.
Finally exporting it.
And you can listen to it on
Spotify.
Soundify.
Soundify.
Spot Cloud. Buzz Cloud.
Buzz Cloud is the hottest thing.
What's the one that people have their like music album releases on? That's not SoundCloud.
Bandcamp?
Bandcamp,
yeah.
yes. It's going to be on Bandcamp.
It's going to be on Bandcamp.
It's going to be on YouTube and TikTok and wherever you get your podcasts uncommonly. All right. So let's keep it rolling. Sorry.
No, it's fine. These are good ideas for
Let's
us.
keep it rolling. These are good ideas to where we should not put our podcast.
Anywhere where the public can't see it. So I've got the video generated. Let's take a look. I like that. That's quirky. I'm going to add that to the intro scene. Or just add it as a new layer. There we go. So now that I've added this, I might have covered up my text. So any layer that you have on your scene editor, if you right click, you can change the order. So I'm just going to send this to the back really quick. There we go. So this generated video clip does have sound, so I want to mute that. I'm going to click on that layer again and then go to properties and just mute it since we have music already.
I think there's a way to turn off sound when you're generating a clip. Like you can choose a little bit more in the settings.
Yeah, I chose to keep audio on, which would have been cool. I'm not too mad about that. But we spent so much time on the rock and roll one. Okay, so with all things, you can certainly work everything on the script, but I like to fine-tune things on the timeline a little bit. So there's a little bit of a weird gap there. Let's just take a look here. Now that I've inserted that video clip, it's made my scene longer. So now I just want to extend this audio to be just as long. And you'll see there's about a second before Trevor starts speaking. So let's just clean that up. And if you grab your cursor right at the edge of a clip, you can trim or extend. So let's just trim it in.
Let's watch the animation.
Hello and welcome to Life Tip.
Can we make a more ridiculous animation or a transition into the opening, like a star wipe or something straight out of Star Wars?
Let's do it. If you click in between scenes here on the scene thumbnail, you can edit the transition. So right now it's set to smart, and I think star wipe would be the call here. Star wipe. Let's do wipe. All right, let's check it out.
Hello and welcome to Life.
Ooh, fancy. Could also change the transition from here if you don't want to work in the timeline. So there's a lot of ways to get there. Let's do shake. It's going to be strong. I think this is the one.
Hello and welcome to Life.
Oh, that's kind of nice. It kind of goes with how the couch is like hanging off of the truck. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's
Cool.
that's Bandcamp ready. I think this is ready to go.
It's Bandcamp ready. Well, what about an outro?
Outro, good call. So I can either recreate an outro sort of using the same steps, like making a new scene,
Mm-hmm.
or I can copy or save this existing scene as a layout. So let's just save this really quick. I'm going to right click and save this as a layout. And you'll have this pop up to the right where you can title it intro. I'm going to create a new layout pack, podcast layouts. And create, pack, and save. So now everything that I built here for this intro scene is going to be saved. So now if I head to the very end of this project and add a new scene, if I go to layout now, I can find my intro card that I saved. I'm just going to tweak a little bit of it. So now this is done. I'm just going to tweak the text. Thanks for watching. There you have it. So without me having to redo everything that I just did, I made that scene as a layout, or I could have easily just copied that layout and pasted it here, but to each their own, I think. Okay,
Awesome.
let's share
Cool.
this.
All right, we're sharing it, and we have officially exported the moving podcast, the Life Tips with Descript Support, episode 1. Episode 1 is now done.
Episode
Hopefully,
1. I'm going to say done.
this is my way of trying to move on from this podcast episode.
It's never done.
It's never done. There's always things you can iterate on because
exactly.
because you can always update the publish page.
My mood just always changes. So yeah, like Trevor mentioned, this is going to be a published web link. So this is a quick way to share it with colleagues, friends, and family. You can also download the video from the web link. You could also change it to be local export, so it just directly exports it to your computer. And we have some other options like Google Drive, Podbean, YouTube, so on and so forth. I think I'm just going to update the web link, and I'll give you a quick preview of what that will look like. So this is the web link right here that it generates. So you could keep this private, just share it to close collaborators. And then this is what the share page will look like. So it's rendering right now, but once that's done, you'll be able to play the video and share it with people.
Nice.
Very cool, right? And you have the transcript on the right side. It's very neat.
Maybe we just share it in the chat.
We should. I'm gonna drop it in.
Yeah, drop it in. This is our podcast. You can listen to it here.
This is final version.
It's not anywhere but here.
There we are.
This is the final 3, 4, 2.
Exclusive.
Exclusive, only for our viewers here. You can listen to our podcast and leave us comments. Subscribe to our podcast. We'll have episode 2 next time.
Next year, October 5th.
Next year. We release every October. We take 7 months, 8 months to edit.
It's just like, Supreme or, those brands that do the thing.
Yeah, it's really, really exclusive episodes.
Super exclusive.
Really, the podcast is us editing the podcast.
Exactly.
Because we can't figure out what we want to do. That's the bit.
It's the magic of it.
It's the magic of it. Well, we're not getting too many more questions. So I think we can probably sort of end slightly early this week. We'll give a moment to see if anyone has any more questions coming in. We'll give a minute or so, but we're here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. We generally will go over a project and edit something if we don't have any questions. And then as we edit and work to some of our more common workflows, we're happy to take questions as they come. But it seems like we might be a little bit quieter today. The opening of June, the weather is nice. Hopefully folks are outside. School is getting out. Yeah.
It's a busy time.
School out where you are?
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
Almost, yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
I'm trying to preparing for that.
Yes. I just have been seeing just a lot more people outside, which is nice.
Yeah.
But the weather is always kind of nice around here.
Yeah, you lucky person, you.
I mean, Arizona is not.
It's always sunny here. So
it's always sunny. It's always hot.
A little too sunny sometimes.
A little too sunny. All right. Well, cool. That'll do it for this week. Thank you to those who joined us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you, Alex, as always, in the chat. And have a good rest of the Tuesday.
Have a great one.
I thought you say, like, what is your happy?
My tag, happy. Go forth and edit.
Go forth and edit. There.
Go forth and edit. There we go.
Script. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video, it's Descript. If you need a great audio, it's Descript. If you need a great video,